It is 2:05 a.m. on November 2nd, 2023. And I'm not really sure all the reasons that I'm on tonight or this morning, this wee hours. But something is a brewing. I call them my tacos on TikTok. I've been charting the charts and on there also following the final phase of this solar ascension. And on the 31st, we had a massive explosion off the LASCO C2, which is the red, and that red is a deep inside the core of the sun. And then on the blue, which is LASCO C3, which is more like a hovering star. If you want to think it's kind of like on the top, it's viewing the blue and the white. For the past 2 weeks on my tacos, we've been tracking a planet, a star, and I'm not, honestly, and I'm the astronomist, and I can't tell you exactly which one it is because we have so much moving around. Come all the way through the core. I knew that we had looped it up to Polis, then it went out of the core, and then towards the end of the day on 10/31, it passed. Now we've got 2 more that are coming in to the sun. They just tried to disconnect me. I reconnected. I don't know if anybody's here because it's early in the morning. I want to show y'all. I don't know why I'm on here this late. I know something's up. I slept for pretty much all of yesterday. 10:31 and 10:30. I was sleeping because I claimed, Maria Orsic, and Maria Orsik's birthday, which was October 31st, 1895. Maria Orsic, I know we manifested her. Even if the research that is out there, and if you go look up Maria Orsic, you'll find a little bit of data, but you'll find more now than we did 3 to 4 years ago. Because we have been manifesting that entire timeline and uncovering it and its association with the Vril in Germany. Now, the Vril was basically a woman organization that in ways was practicing what you would call probably some of this dark magic, but the whole thing was set up as a response and an alternative to what the Valkyrie was doing, the Dragon Orders were doing, XYZ. The Vril and Maria Orsic channeled Andromeda and were feeding Hitler information about what they were channeling, which is why even Hitler took them over. Hitler was obsessed with her and really trapped them in a lot of ways in order to give them the information that the Nazis had. And this dome that we're breaking out of, can really think of it more as it's on my taco. They're calling it a cosmic bubble, and the sun has moved into the middle of it. And they're calling it a cosmic bubble because all these stars have exploded and created like a plasma field. And these same things were going on in Germany, and the war with these gases and with the blowing up of and blowing out and blowing down the planet, boom, and then trapping it at the same time that they were taking out all of your royals, which were holding it. If you really think about how all this works, it's because your royal seeds and the ones with the consciousness associated to Earth are the ones that are holding the poles and the nodes, and this is what we all forgot, and this is why all of us that activated in 2017 in the ancients, and this is why it was so important for us to activate and do everything that we've done for right now. And there's so much talk about 1947. I just saw today in Norway, they have found a ship in Norway that landed there in 1947 at the bottom of not even a really deep water mass. NASA's supposedly down there trying to look into it now, but I just saw it today. There's so much that has started to come out just in the past 6 hours to the collective that was hidden inside the systems because of this blowout that is taking place. Now, when we, and I've talked about this on here, when we have been claiming and everything, we've been setting up a larger etheric body literally to get our head out of it. And for the stars and everything and to magnetize towards us because it's cosmic, not planetary, for this reason that I just explained, because the planetary system is what they wanted to keep us in, and your vaccinations and all the crap that they put in everything down here is all to sedate humans so that they can put you into another 1,000,000-year count on a planetary system, which we have some years until that's totally locked down, no matter who you are, unless you're not human at all and have no interest in being human and are just attacking the human race and have been for a long time, you know, like even the Alpha Draconic race. It's really no more. It's been alchemized through the human body, and now we hold the original keys to it, not another entity. So if those entities are dying, they're dying off, they've lost their power, they're all going underground, XYZ. And this is all happening right now. Earlier today, and I won't play the music just because MeTube over here has got an issue with music from Taco is what I call it. Earlier today, let me find it, I started charting the alignments, and holy crap, let me flip this over and show you guys. This was from what's yesterday, November 1st. This is what lined up. Look at that. That's a 6-pointed star. On 10/31, we ended the Corporation Israel contract, and basically up in the northern hemisphere, they had just gridded down. It's like they sawed a statue or a tree in half and then flipped it over and said, okay, this is ours, and put a dome on it, but didn't ever associate it back to the fact that it was from all of us down here. And the delta broke open, and that's the explosion that came out of the sun. Now, this was when Venus was at 23 degrees on the money of Virgo, and Saturn was at 31 seconds. And the big thing is all this Scorpio. Scorpio is all about magic, either ancestral magic, ancestral gifts, spells that had been cast on your family or by your family. If you hold a lot of Scorpio in your natal chart or your progress chart or your draconic chart, the beginning degrees of Scorpio, which is where the sun is at 9:11 when I pulled this chart, from 0 until about, well, really until 10 degrees, those degrees starting at 0 build up basically your ancestral Akash, if you will. At 1 degree, you might have a treasure chest. You know that you've got a chest. You don't really understand what's inside it, but you know it's there. It's connected to you. You've got to figure it out. If you've got 5 degrees, then you know some tarot stuff. It's just in you. You just know what to do. Maybe it even is with herbs. Maybe it's with whatever it is. As you get to 10 degrees, now you're talking about casting. All of the mass consciousness and mass collective spells that the Illuminati, that the Valkyrie, that the Dragon Order, it didn't matter. They were all cast when something was rolling through Scorpio from 12 to 16 degrees of Scorpio. Those specifically, because that lines up to 12 to 16 in Aries for Alpha Draconic Notice 2, mainly. It also lines up with Libra, Algorab, which is the balance point of the realm and the energetics of the realm at 12 to 16 degrees of Libra. And it affects 12 to 16 degrees of Cancer, which is your mind. So all spells that were collectively cast were always done in 12 to 16 degrees. Now, at this time, what's happening is the collective is taking charge. And I have proof of that because of this. So what's happening is that we've got Mars at 14 degrees in the center of it. So we've been probably, depending on who you are, because we all see what we need to see, and we all see what's attached to us in some way. FYI, it's why you see it. Maybe someone else doesn't see it, but if you see it and you see a lot of things in tandem, especially weird, like today I saw Elon Musk AI on TikTok, talking to people, answering questions, and it's like, duh. That's really Elon. He's really AI, y'all. Can you not tell? If you're there's a lot of stuff going on like that because Mars is going through that 14 degrees, but the collective has lifted it up, and we're working through white magic. We're working through our frequency, just natural frequency. All of us starseeds all over the world have lined all of this up as if we're pushing the lid off of a boiling pot. But the lid is now floating over the pot. And all the gas and all the steam is coming out of the pot at the same time in this kitchen with this magical floating lid. It's not just magically floating, it's because the energetics of everything over it, and since our energy controls the air, it doesn't have to boil anything in the pot in order to push the lid off. All we got to do is get together and magnetize the lid and lift it up. And that's what we did. Not only did we do that, that's what we've all been doing with collective timelines, cutting cords, cutting timelines, claiming, blah, 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 blah. All that we've been doing since 2017, especially, has written these new infrastructure of timelines in order to connect in to reality. Whether or not that's a timeline that the Illuminati wrote and you don't even know yet, but you're jumping into a spot and taking it from someone that did black magic because it was always yours to begin with, or if we just overwrote the whole thing. You know, we don't know yet. It's all just getting started. But Mercury has already passed over that 12 to 16 degrees. It's at 17 as Mars is coming through, and they didn't count on us being able to take Mars. They didn't count on that. I don't know why not, because Yahshua's sister, that's Sarah Damaris, Damar is, and I mean, I don't know. But this is what the chart looked like today, or I'm sorry, 11:01, because today is 11:02, and I don't know if I did, well, this chart was pulled at 4:06 p.m. 4:06 p.m. Now, this is also a really great video on how this all works. This is the blowout that we had. Look at that. That happened on 11:01, and this is the blue Lasco C3. I'll let it play one more time. A lot of crazy stuff. There's a bunch of wrecks in Dallas. There's this in Dubai I want to come back to. Now, this is where we are right now. And I even titled it Star Origami because look at that. This is, I mean, what, that was 4 o'clock. That it, not even 12 hours, not even 12 hours later, we've completely lost that red delta. And that red delta, this one right here. See, Venus was holding this red delta right here. Well, that's the one you didn't want to be in. You didn't want to be, because the title of this was Cosmic Justice. Which true angel are you riding? Because, I mean, really, that each triangle is a collective in a lot of ways. Well, Venus is holding up this red delta, and it was going to the moon at that point, which was just barely going into Cancer. So it was still riding Gemini, which is air, the whole twin thing. And then it's converging over there at Neptune, and Neptune be all about Epstein. You can, I mean, Neptune, Epstein, yada, yada. The whole thing with all that sex trafficking, whatever the hellballs they had going on, was all about disrupting Neptune. Why? Because Neptune is Venus's oversoul. And then what's Earth's oversoul? Venus. FY. So it goes Neptune, Venus, what you'd consider Earth, or wherever we are on Earth, because of the Venetian energy that had already been implanted here. Now, you didn't want to be in that red one. Most of the collective is going to go into this Sun, Moon, Saturn. Sun, Moon, Saturn triangle. Because if you have AB blood, you have a balance of what you would say is the sun and the moon. Just like a double simian has the sun and the moon. And because that's what they were trying to tune everybody to was AB. even on your YouTube. If you go to YouTube TubeBuddy, it says right there that they're doing A/B testing. And so basically that's what they were it's like they were attempting to make everybody an AB, which is a full-on power source inside a bubble. Okay? But there's a lot of balancing out that needs to happen with that, and it's not a bad thing. It's just a connection thing. So a lot of the collective is going to be balancing out, because Saturn, no matter, delivers your timelines. New ones too, not just old ones. Okay? So there's like a couple of settings that the collective will be on that, depending on what they've been doing for the past 7 years in accordance to Saturn. The Ascended group is working on this Pluto, Uranus, Venus transit. And that's the big flipper. Pluto, your soul contract. So this is if you've completely cleared everything, you've completed it all, you've rebirthed yourself, then you're dealing with soul contracts in Pluto, past lifetimes, right? Past, not past lifetimes, but further back than just lifetimes. Your soul contracts. And then what needs to change with Venus holding this huge diamond in order to project that. And then you can imagine this is how other people are going to start moving around, etc., in order to make that happen with inside reality. But again, you didn't want to be in this delta. Now, if we go back and look less than 12 hours later, how this thing has folded over, where's that red triangle? Delta's gone, baby, gone. It's already done. It's already locked in. It's 11:02 at wee hours in the morning, and we've already locked down that red triangle. Now, what's happened? We got a big 7. You see that? It's like it flipped. And it's all projecting over. There's clear as day a star right there, how it just flipped over. A 7 angle is making that 7 cut. You start flipping 7, 77. Those are massive perception shifts. But the other one I want to call attention to is this 4. You see that 4 forming right there? Well, that's dealing with Nazi crap. 2 4s upside down. That is the swastika. Now, the swastika had an original meaning before Hitler got a hold of it. Why? Because we were channeling all this information way back in 1940s. And the main reason that I had to prove all this queen crap was so I could get the Clio keys. And the Clio keys were all about the 44 gates in the cosmos and how this was gridded down to Florida in order to decipher to the Bahamas. Why? Because Lemuria is right there in between Florida and Africa. So that is a 74 gate. I would call that a 74, 47, 74, or 74, 47. I mean, it's a lot that is happening with this. That cut right there. And when I pulled it, we were still at 17. But see, Mars is now on the balance point right in the middle at 14. So, I mean, not much moved. The whole thing just flipped. I've never seen anything like these 2 charts since I've been charting this, which has been almost 7 years now. And it's quite amazing. I put on here, yeah, we're showing off. Yeah, we're showing off now. Now, what also came up is this is a video. Now, this is in Dubai. And I'll just let you watch it. The arrow's right here, so watch right over here. You see that? Now watch. Oh, man.